Hi everybody and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my weekly wrap up for you. I'm sorry it's a little bit late. As you know from my last video, things were going crazy and we had the wake on Monday and then funeral on Tuesday. So when Wednesday rolled around, I was just kind of not ready to film / I also had to do an observation on Thursday with my class. So I was like, let me just get through my life and then I will come back. So here I am. So in this past week, I have read 4 books, which is pretty impressive considering everything that was going on because I haven't read since Thursday and now it's Saturday morning. So that's pretty impressive. I have 2 ebooks to share with you and 2 physical books, so I'm going to just start with the physical books. The first book is Dark Witch by Nora Roberts, and this is book 1 of the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy. Actually, I'm going way out of order of how I read these, but that's okay. This is the first book in that trilogy, and I had been kind of nervous to get into this trilogy because I had read the first little few pages one day a couple years ago, and I was like, hold on, I'm not ready for this. And I put it down, and I have been so scared to pick it up. But I realized I just needed to get through that first prologue phase. This is about a girl and she goes and moves to Ireland to be with her cousins because they are part of this like ancestry to the dark witches in Ireland. And the first chapter is about the original dark witches and that family. And that first chapter, because it takes place in like the 1200s, it's so hard for me to get into that. I don't know why, but like I was kind of really not interested and I did not like that part. But like once I got into the rest of the story, it was so much better. There's this dark kind of witch that is kind of, not the dark witch, that doesn't make sense, but like an evil type of person who is kind of after this family because he wants this power, he wants whatever they have pretty much. So he's been kind of haunting this family like through generations, and it follows our main character who was living in the United States, and just her grandmother kind of like tells her like, hey, this is what is in our family. So she goes to Ireland to be that third dark witch because there's 3 of them. And obviously when she's over there, it's a Nora Roberts book. Clearly there's romance involved, and I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. It's not my favorite Nora Roberts book, and I don't know if it's because of that magical element, but I thought it was really fun and I really enjoyed this book. So I'm really excited to continue on now that I have finally like gotten past that epilogue, like that prologue. Once you get past that prologue, definitely stick to it. I know a lot of people were saying that like it was hard to get into, so definitely if you could push through those first 30 pages, it's worth it. So definitely recommend that. The other physical book I read was She Went All the Way by Meg Cabot. I did not enjoy this book so much at all. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's about this woman, and she is like a writer for like movies and things like that, and she gets left by her like boyfriend that she's been dating for like 10 years, and he leaves her for this other guy's like girlfriend, and he's also in this story, and they end up like on a helicopter together, which then crashes. So it's kind of like a survival story / love story, and it just wasn't what I wanted from it. It changes perspectives very rapidly and without very little warning. So it's like you'll be reading from her perspective and out of nowhere it's his perspective, and it doesn't have that like dot or like that like title change where like you know what's coming. You also see a lot of perspectives from the families and friends that are like watching this go down, and I don't know, I just thought that it was really unrealistic, and even like the love story in this was not cute to me. It was very not realistic. It was very rushed and just didn't make much sense to me. Like they would be like, I hate you, and they're like having this awful relationship, in the back of their head they're like, I love you. And I'm like, no you don't. So like slow your roll. I don't know, I just didn't find this interesting. I mean, I read the first half kind of half asleep, half engaged, so that could also have a lot to do with it. But for me, the reading experience with this just was not a good one. And then the next 2 books are books that I received by Curiosity Quills Press, and they sent me these books in exchange for an honest review. The fourth book in this series is coming out, well, it came out May 2nd, so they gave me the 4 books so that way I can review the fourth one. So hopefully I'll have a whole complete wrap up for you with all 4 books very soon, because they wanted it by the end of May, and end of May will be here before we know it. But I've read the first 2 books, so that's exciting. The first book is called Darkness Watching by Emma L. Adams, and this is the Dark World series. This follows a girl named Ashlyn, and she's in college. Well, the first few chapters kind of actually take place right before college, and she's starting to notice strange things that are going on, and she's starting to open her eyes to this like demon world with sorcerers and magic, and realizing that she is a part of that. And it really made me think of Obsidian. It made me think of City of Bones. It made me think at one point, not Obsidian, yeah, Obsidian, the Lux series. It made me think of, there's a scene in here that completely reminds me of Monsters University. Just saying. This book just completely reminded me of a whole bunch of different things that I know that this book would have something for everybody, because it has that magic, it has the friends, it has that kind of fun spontaneity in it. I gave it 4 stars. The only reason why I couldn't give it the 5th star was I was kind of confused at times. There's a lot of characters. She kind of lives this like double life. She's got the friends that she makes at college, but she's also got these friends that are in this magical world with her. And there's so many on both sides, it's hard to keep track of who's who and who's this one and who's that one. And there's a character named Alex, and I kept getting confused if Alex was a girl or if Alex was a boy, which is just strange. It's just something that I had a hard time with. But I feel like it's definitely enjoyable, and I think other people would definitely enjoy this. So if you like that sorcerer and demons and things like that, this is definitely the book for you, so you should definitely check this out. Then I read the sequel, which is Walking Shadow, and I gave this book 3 stars. I didn't enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the first one. It felt very much of one of those books that kind of falls into that hand category of second book syndrome, where it just kind of was. There's kind of a new not dark person, but like new bad thing that's happening, which is like I was saying in my review. I reviewed both of these on my blog, and it obviously, like with like Harry Potter, you know, Voldemort is always the source of evil, and even though there's different things going on, this one, there's a new like evil almost every book. Well, I don't know if it's going for every book because I've only read the first 2, but there was like a new mystery, and we weren't sure who was the cause of it this time. So I don't know if that's going to be a trend or what, but it was one of those things where like I feel like it's going to be hard to like really like grasp what's really going on if the villain is like almost always changing, if that makes sense. But I'm really still really interested to see where this goes. I've been doing a thing where I read one of these, I read a different book, I read one of these, I come back to it, because I feel like I wouldn't be able to marathon them correctly in the right way with the right mindset if I just did that. So I've been trying to make sure that I'm reading other things along with it. But definitely I think that so far this series is off to a good start, and I would definitely recommend it. So those are the books that I read this week. I'm about to start a book by Debbie Macomber, I think. I don't know. I just hauled a whole bunch of books, so I might end up changing my mind. And then I will be jumping into book 3 of that series.